Hello guys, today we're going to be doing a video on the Cycle Frontier using the RTX 3050, running a Ryzen 3700X with 32GB of RAM running at 3200 MHz. Alright, let's jump into the settings. We're going to be starting it off with 1080p on the low settings. I will also be using DirectX 12 since that does result in us having better GPU utilization. If it starts to lag or stutter too much, I'll go back to DirectX 11. But yeah, I don't know if I'll do 1440p and 4K, I probably will do them on low settings, but 1080p, I'll go through all the presets for sure. Alright, let's get into it. So I've gone ahead and enabled the overlay for our CPU cores. We have an 8-core CPU, but it has 16 threads. I've disabled the threads on the overlay because it would be too confusing. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at how many cores the game uses up. And it seems like it's using up 4 cores. Cores 1 and 3 are being mostly used, especially core 3. Core 3 is like the main one that's being used up. 70%, 76% usage, but on average sitting in the 40s to 30s. We're not running into any kind of CPU bottleneck, which is great. GPU is fully maxed out, but you can see core 18, core 8, 7, 6 and all that is sitting 10-20%. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and enable DLSS just to push it a little bit further so if we can actually get a bottleneck going. See 120, 140 FPS, wow, that's crazy. And still not getting a bottleneck. GPU is not being as used up. It was like at 98%, now it's sitting at 95%. So we lost like 3% extra power, but that's not really meaning anything. And you can see core 3 is definitely being used up at times. Core 3 hasn't actually been affected too much, still at 40% still, 20%, but I did see it spike up to the high 80s for a split second. Disable DLSS again, and we're running the game at native 1080p. We're getting some graphical issues here. Now this could be because of DirectX 12, because I've done this game with DirectX 11 for all my other tests, which is for the 1050 Ti and the 3060 Ti, and I never saw any of this. So this might be due to DirectX 12. Okay, you know what, then I'm leaving. Ow, 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 ow. You know what, I forgot? Some healing. That would have come in handy right now. Yo, dude, chill. Oh, thank God, okay. Honestly, performance is pretty good. Over 100 frames. I think for this game, you can definitely use DLSS at 1080p and it will still look good. Because of the art style. The art style is very... I don't know how to describe it, but it definitely does benefit. It definitely doesn't get affected as much by DLSS than other games. A big guy is no joke, I'm getting out of here. I'm running out of ammo as well. I gotta keep some for enemies, actual players running around. Alright, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and push this up to medium settings before I die and lose all my gear. So medium settings, just turn everything on medium. Ah, perfect. Here's that quality. Everything else at the bottom is the same. Let's see if there's a difference. Okay. There's definitely a difference in quality. The game looks sharper and way better. It takes a while, it seems like, for it to actually stabilize, because it always stutters for like a couple of seconds, 20 seconds when you first change your settings, but after a while it becomes stable again and runs great. Now we still do have a high frame rate. We're sitting in the 90s now instead of the 110s to 100s. That was a big stutter. We just dropped down to 75 there. These guys need to chill out, man. I'm running out of ammo. It's not even a joke anymore. I need to get out of here. Please. Please. Oh God, this is so bad. I'm dying to bots instead of actual players. The card is actually starting to overheat. I mean, 80 degrees is still fine, but I'd rather have it sit at 70. So I'm gonna try to cool the room down. Yeah, let's just try to cool the card down a little bit. 80 degrees is kind of high. A 3060 Ti sits around like 60 degrees, 70 degrees, and that's a much more powerful card. So it's kind of weird how a 3050, a dual fan 3050 is struggling to cool itself down. Now, like I was saying before, medium settings you definitely get an image quality boost. In some games, medium settings doesn't do too much. This game, it's a pretty big jump. The game looks way better, but we lost around 10 to 20 FPS from doing so. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try DLSS for a little bit, see what performance we can get. Start with ultra quality. Game looks identical to native. Is that an extract or something? What is that? No, it's not. Well, I don't know what that is. Wow, DLSS is a no-brainer for this game. At ultra quality, we gained what? 10 to 20 FPS, so we gained all of FPS back that we had at low preset. Gained all of it back, and the game doesn't look any worse. It looks just as good. Let's go ahead and bring our DLSS down to quality. I will keep increasing it until I see a visual quality loss. Even at quality, we didn't lose any quality from using it, but the performance is worse. Okay, let's sit here for a second. Getting 100 FPS. And going back to ultra quality, we get more FPS. So don't use the quality preset for DLSS, it seems like. Because our performance is way worse on quality than it is with ultra quality. So we're getting 110 FPS with ultra quality, and we get 100. So we lost 10 FPS from using quality instead of ultra quality, which doesn't make any sense. Let's go ahead and use balance. 110 FPS, same as ultra quality. 120 FPS when we turn around, 113. But looking this way, it's 110 like it is with ultra quality. So I don't think there's a benefit. 115. Okay, using performance, you get some extra performance. Quality looks somewhat the same, but honestly, the sweet spot right now is ultra quality. Alright, let's go ahead and push it up to high settings, no DLSS. Oh, can we not shoot me, please? Game always stutters heaps when you change settings. It's pretty bad right now, but we'll let it stabilize for a second while they get chased with these rats. Leave me alone, please. Seems like we're getting 70 FPS, low 70s to high 70s. That seems to be our range so far, but honestly, the game does feel worse, like way worse than it did at medium settings. Frame rate slightly worse, like 10 FPS difference, I believe, from normal medium settings without DLSS. But look at that, we just hit 60s. We've actually hit 60 FPS mark, high 60s, I guess, but still. And the worst part is the quality doesn't look too much different from medium. I can't really tell too much of a difference between medium to high. And we're losing all these frames. Like, we just hit 62 FPS just then. That is pretty bad. If you want to have a competitive experience, then I wouldn't play it high. I would just stick to medium or low even. Medium seems to be the sweet spot, since you gain quite a bit of quality for a 10 to 20 FPS loss. But you can get it all back with DLSS, so there's no really downside to it. But high settings, you don't gain much in terms of quality, but you still do lose 10 to 20 FPS as well. Alright, let's go ahead and test out DLSS at high settings. We were sitting in the low 40s to high not 40s, the low to high 70s without DLSS. Now it seems like we're sitting in the low 80s to high 80s, and then occasionally we boost up to high 90s to 100s. So even with DLSS set to ultra quality, we don't really gain our FPS back like we did at medium settings. We're sitting at 110 FPS. But still, if you like the way high preset looks more than medium, then this is not bad at all. You still do get a very good experience, above 80 FPS for the most part. And you could always drop your DLSS down even more. The game doesn't really get affected too much by DLSS, even attain epic settings. This is definitely pushing our luck at this point. I feel like we're going to be sitting in the 60s. Yep, low 60s to the 50s. I wouldn't be surprised if we fell into the 40s as well. Looks alright. It seems to have way better lighting, but other than that, I don't really see too much of a difference in our texture quality. But even on epic settings, we still do fall into the low 70s to the high 60s. Man, there's so many of them. I'm just gonna leave. I can't win that. Sorry, boys. I wanna live. Ow. As if. That we still do fall into the low 60s here. That's crazy. So here we would be in the 50s without the DLSS. Yeah, 50s, yeah. Oh, almost had the 40s down. Low 50s to the low 60s is what you're playing on without DLSS. So epic settings, you want to have DLSS enabled either way because you can't hold a consistent 60 with it. Alright, let's go ahead and play on low and jump up to 1440p. Let's do a quick 1440p and 4K test on low settings. The game looks so crisp at 1440p, it's actually insane how good it looks. If you got a 1440p screen, definitely play at 1440p instead of 1080p. The game looks so sharp. Absolutely insane how good this looks. Frame rate though, it seems like it's sitting around 1080p high. That's what it would be if you were playing at 1080p. So, definitely still playable at 1440p low. The game doesn't feel as fluid when you actually move around as well. It feels very clunky and laggy at times. So, something else to keep in mind at 1440p. There you go, 95 FPS. That's crazy good. That is really good performance right there. Getting 100 FPS now. 90 to 100 FPS. Probably will have drops into the 80s as well. I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, 80 FPS is still plenty. Gives us plenty of headroom before it becomes laggy. Yeah, that's what I was expecting us to be playing at. 30 FPS. Aiming feels very bad. Kind of makes you feel sick a little bit when you're aiming. Oh, this doesn't feel good at all at 30. And with DLSS set to ultra quality, do we get 60 FPS or 50 FPS? Low 40s. Low 40s feels way better than 30 FPS does. This feels... Oh, we're playing at 50 FPS, I guess. This feels really good right now. That's a player. Let's go. We finally saw a player. Been hunting for months. He's gonna answer rifle. I've got low health. Attack him, boy. Go get him. No, why are you attacking me? Please. Okay, you know what? We gotta go ahead and adjust that setting quickly before we get into a fight. Let's go ahead and put the DLSS set to performance and run into a fight and hopefully not die. What's up, dude? Let's go! We got a kill. Give me everything. Mine. It's all mine. Damn, cool pistol. Yeah, 4K is pretty much out of the question. Even with DLSS, it's unplayable. Get too many divs, you fall into the 50s very quickly. 1440p is much more reasonable. You can definitely pull up 1440p, even medium settings you can probably do. But 4K is out of the question. 1080p, all settings are playable. No issues there at all. For epic settings, you want to have DLSS, but either way, I would turn on DLSS no matter what I was playing on. Low, medium, high on epic. 1440p, just enable DLSS, set it to ultra quality. That is the sweet spot. If you want more frames, play on performance. But yeah, I think I'll wrap the video here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. If you did, give it a like and subscribe. I appreciate it. See you next time.